certainly, this is good for our audience to know that you've had some struggles in your background because uh, you're so successful now. You're all over the internet and you know, so 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 what called you to be a psychologist? When did you? At what point did you decide to become a psychologist?
Um, I'm trying to think. When was the last time? So when did I decide to become a psychologist? Is that the question?
Yeah, or I've always been interested in Joseph Campbell and
Me
and his
too.
and the yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to acknowledge is I feel such a kinship with you because
Mm.
um, the psychology that I was drawn to, and I'm like 20 years ahead of you or more, 30 years, and was humanistic psychology. And I came to Sonoma State University. I took a job there because they actually had a master's program in humanistic psychology, one of two in the whole country. And in the two departments that both had that was because they had uh, people that studied with Maslow. And so
Wow.
we were very influenced by that. And yeah, so we have that in common, and that interest in existential psychology, and which is so wonderful to see that that's so strong in your work, because it kind of went out of it was seen by some people as kind of a fad, the human potential movement. There were mistakes, there were abuses, and so kind of dropped down in some ways. And so I see you as working to resuscitate it.
Thanks. I'm trying. Um, it's even the term human potential doesn't have quite the cachet it did in the 60s.
No, no, it doesn't.
And I'm trying. And I mean, I started the Center for Human Potential. I thought, if I just call the center what it is,
Yeah,
maybe that term will. But I'm very interested in the future of human potential and where we could go as a species and where we're going as a species.
sure, sure. And by the way, I also did my undergraduate work at Penn, um, although
Oh, wow.
there was no such program as that master's program, you know, for coaching and humanistic, not humanistic, but the positive psychology uh, that Seligman, you know, breathed life into. And it kind of tried to create some distance, I think, between himself and that history. And because he really wanted it to be new and he wanted it to be solidly research based, whatever it was going to be.
That's right. No, both those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had not become a psychologist, what do you think would you might have become?
A musical theater performer on Broadway.
Aha. Okay. So you have some
Or a stand-up
ambition.
comedian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was drawn to that myself, but never had the courage to give it a try. But I would get rave reviews in some of my classes but of course, a captive audience helps. And
That's true.
yeah,
They laugh at your jokes, they get a good grade.
yeah. Well, that's the theory at any rate. Hopefully, it wasn't the case. Um, so, see, just to dig in a little bit more here. Um, well, let's talk about your book some. Um, what what do you think is unique about this book?
choose growth. We're talking about choose growth.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
um, well, there this idea of this field called post-traumatic growth is, I don't think, as well known as post-traumatic stress disorder is known.
Right. Right.
So anything I can
Right.
do to get the word out more about that there is growth potential in our traumas is good. But I also think that there is this revised hierarchy of needs idea that I have in the book. Is revised with a new metaphor for life and self-actualization, which is self-actualization is a journey, not a destination. And
Yeah.
a sailboat metaphor is a probably better metaphor for the growth process in life.
Right. Right. Yes, I like that. Take us through that metaphor that you use in the book.
Sure. So with this metaphor, the base of the boat it represents our security needs. If we have too many holes in the boat, it makes it very hard for us to move. We have to try to plug the holes and figure out how we're going to stay afloat. And those security needs are the needs for belonging, the needs for security, and the need for purpose. But if we get enough of security, we can feel a sense of growth, and we can feel a sense of forward motion, which is only going to happen if we open up the sail. Opening up the sail makes you vulnerable. It's a vulnerable living life and trying to move toward your goals. There's lots of forces, internal negative thoughts and external forces, that environmental situations that are really holding us back from reaching our goals. But ultimately, we have to persevere and integrate the various sides of ourselves in a way that it's harmonious and healthy.